After you reviewed the film from Wednesday, what were the positives and the negatives?
I mean, if you start with the positives, I think that there's chance creation, and then like we talked about it after the game, is it more game state that led into that? But I think that the thing I liked is that at the end of the game, it looked like we still had a fighting chance. Yes, there was chances on both sides, sure, but at the end when you finish, the goal maybe comes a little bit too late. We could have maybe got one earlier. I think the positive is that there's fight in the team, and that game maybe goes 2-1, 2-2, and then we keep ourselves in the game rather than if they get another one, it's 3-0, 4-0, and then we just kind of fall apart. No matter what happens, if you lose a game, whether it's 2-1, 5-1, the loss is the loss. But how you end up going about, do you go down fighting? That's what I've told them before about the adverse moments. Like, do you stand up and fight back, or do you give up? And that's a positive. The negative is that it takes you. I mean, I wouldn't say the whole half, but the first half it ends up killing you in the moments in there. So it's not the whole half, but they're the key moments of the half that we lost shape, we got disjointed, and it ends up costing us for the result of the game.
Was that what New England was doing, or was that just not being, focused like you want to see?
I think it's a little bit of both. Like, yeah, you have to give credit to them. Their game plan worked. I would say their game plan worked because they won. What we tried to eliminate them doing, and what we've talked when we showed what they would do, they end up hurting us on both those moments. So we need to learn that lesson, and that's something we've talked on. And we're not going to have a ton of training time, so it's about whether it's on the video and reflecting there and being honest with each other, and then when we get on the pitch, what we do with that time on the pitch, and in those moments to fix mistakes. I touched on this at the very beginning, is like making new mistakes. So let's not make the same thing, let the same thing happen again, and when the next game comes up, you have to move on and learn from it.
And now, I mean, I assume it takes on even more importance because you're facing the second highest scoring team in Major League Soccer on Saturday in a tough place to play. What's going to be the key for y'all to get a positive result from this?
Yeah, just being the collective is really important. Like being together, and I mean that in a sense of yes, the togetherness of the mentality of a group, but also like attacking wise, defensive wise, we need to be together, really compact. I think it's really important. Yeah, they're a dangerous team. Every team in this league has some dangerous players, and if you don't do things right, they can punish you. And it's the same with them. You don't do things right, they can be a team that punishes you, whether you play home or away. I've said it before, you block out the noise, all the exterior things, this altitude or wherever, like there's another game on the field to go and go at another chance to go 3 points, 1 point, whatever we get. There's no excuses there, and just go and attack the game to try to limit them and create some chances for us.
And what's made Arango so tough to stop this season?
That's a good question. Well, we'll see when we actually face him. When you watch him on video, it's one thing, and then I think he's a goal scorer. Like he just is always goal dangerous. He's always looking to a chance to create. Doesn't ever look like he gets rattled. And he's got experience. He's done this before at a good level, and he's in good rhythm. So it'll be a really good challenge for us. That's something I'm really excited about. When you come up against teams that you talk about them being the highest, the second highest, whatever it might be. Like that's a really cool challenge. I think that this is what you want. You want to play against the best of the best, and if we want to be good, and we want to be better, then you got to play teams like this and really show that you got something. So I'm looking forward to that challenge.
I forgot my usual leading off question. Are there any injury updates or anything?
No. I think like you were here. What you see is everybody here on the trip is fit and healthy. I'm just double checking Steon's obviously suspended.
Right.
Everybody else is fit and healthy, and what we've got here is. Just need freshness in the team. Like we've played a lot of games, but again, no excuses, and that's why we have a group. Like it's about the group and about the collective, and making sure that we put the right players on the pitch to go for as long as they can, and people that come in and make an impact as substitutions, like they're ready to go.
In a week like this, where you've got travel, you've got 2 games, how do you kind of manage your process of reviewing the last one, finding things in it, then sharing that with the players, and then trying to put it out onto the field?
Yeah, I mean it's quick, right? Like the last game turns around and you try to look at that and see is there a theme of something. So if there's a theme of something, whether it's showing or whether it's individual, whether it's group, small groups, we look at different ways. A lot of stuff right now is individual based, and it's on the plane on the way from New England to Salt Lake. We're doing things like that. We had a meeting this morning talking about collective stuff, and sometimes it's about showing a video, sometimes it's about having a discussion, a group discussion, and making sure like we're on the same page. And then like I always tell them is like then stay in the present, put that past us, and move forward, move forward, and make sure that we're not making the same mistakes, or also making sure that we're gravitating towards a better result and a better outcome. It's difficult with tight turnaround. No matter if you win or you lose, because like I've said to you guys before, if you win, great, you gotta wake up, do the same thing again. So it's difficult because people are a little more tired and things like that, but no excuses, and you move forward.
One thing that's noticeable is just how collaborative the whole process was today with training, with whether it's players offering input about different things, whether it's assistants. Like it felt like it was a collective trying to figure things out.
Yeah, it's what I've tried to tell them from day one when we started doing this again is like it was shared ownership, shared success. So this morning we had a really productive meeting, and again it was shared. It's difficult sometimes. They just like, with players, they want you to tell them everything, and then from there maybe they agree, maybe they don't agree. But I told them like, ultimately, yes, there's decisions that have to be made, and like myself in this position, I have to make those decisions. But at the same time, like we're in this together. So if we leave this room and you've got doubt, like no chance. So we get right to the point, and I don't think they're tough conversations because I think we all are looking at something similar. So when we talked on certain aspects of our game and opponents and things like that, we share the same thoughts and the same values of what we want to see on the pitch. So then when you do it, it's one thing you do it in the video or you do it in a room where you're having conversation, and then when you come on the field and you start to move a little bit, oh, hey, this comes up, what happens if this happens? I've been in this scenario, what happens? So these questions are great. And ultimately, as the game goes, like they make decisions and one instinct, and they have to go with those. And we hope we give them really good ideas that solve those problems and help them be successful. I love that part. Like sorry, I'm giving a long answer, but I really love that part. Like the really part of being a collective group. Like that's what gives me confidence that hey, we're in this together. Like and if you got doubt, let's make sure we solve it, because when we go out on the pitch, like no one thinks like oh that was just his decision and it's just whoever, Carl Robinson, or it's just Rob. Well, no, we all wear the same badge. So when we go out there, like we need to be collective together, and I think that's really important.
When you were studying RSL, getting ready for this, what are the things that kind of jump out about their game model?
I mean, they're a never give up team. Like I've got a lot of respect for all the staff that are there. Played with Pablo, coached with Anthony Pulis, know Nate Miller. Like the staff that they've got, great staff, and all great in different ways. And I watch them. I think back to the way Pablo was as a player. Like they tick how he ticks, and it's a really they're a fun team to watch. So. They're dangerous in attack. They've got good movement, good rotations off each other, and then defensively they can be stringent. Like they're tough to play against, and they make things difficult. That being said, like it is similar to other teams. Like no team is complete in this league, and you have to find ways that you can poke holes in them or make it difficult for them to attack. And so yeah, it was a fun process to watch them, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
And last one for me, speaking about tomorrow night, how important are the wing backs for you? Getting forward or fullbacks, depending on how it looks, Lennon and Wiley, and getting forward and contributing in the attacking third.
Yeah, I mean, whoever plays in these positions, I think they are really important. We touched on it this morning that one extra player on the back line or one extra player in a different position, it doesn't just solve issues or doesn't give you more chances. It's about what you do with it. So, with whether we defend with 5 or attack with 3 at the back and those guys go, like they're really important. But they're part of the collective. It's what their role is on the night of how they can be better than the opponent that they're playing against.